Hello everyone, and welcome back. Heir of Stank here. Oh, wait. Oh man, really? Yeah, I guess so. Yes, Mother Ostankya is here. We are finally able to show you her campaign, and I'm excited about it. We're going to jump into it. I've got one queued up here for Immortal Empires. I've got the settings on very hard, very hard. I'm still playing with the AI stats modifier slider in neutral, which is my new favorite setting. I absolutely love it. Because I can get the benefits of the smarter decision making and the large stacks of troops in the campaign map without all the cheating. Pretty fantastic. So Mother Ostankya's starting army is going to be pretty strong. I will demonstrate this to you all as we get going, because we're going to start with some new units here, some things in the woods. We're also going to have Incarnate Elemental of Beast, which is a nice single entity monster. These Akshina Ambushers are really good at dealing damage from range and not bad in a melee. And then we do have these giant spiders, which are pretty solid to go along with the things in the woods. So without any further ado here, I'm going to get this campaign started, let you all watch the little introduction, and we'll go take a look at, where we're at on the map, what we're up against, and then we'll just get things started that way. And of course, if you have any questions about the campaign, or you have any thoughts or feelings like, Heir, your face is ugly, or I'm not sure about this DLC, or this DLC looks great, or, whatever you want to throw in, just make sure to get down in the comments. I love hearing all the comments so that I know what you all are thinking of the new content, what it is you're looking for in terms of what you would like me to show, and things like that. It just makes things helpful. And of course, it's always helpful to insult my face. That's just become the common theme on most videos, so you'll just be going right along with the crowd if you do that. All right. It looks like we're about to load in. This last little bit taking us a while here, but we do get some sweet pictures in the background. Here we go.
Every winter, as the nights draw close and mists begin to thicken, the people of Kislev tell their children a tale always told in a whisper.
It's a tale about my face.
From the dark heart of the woods, the Hag Mother watches. For those who bring destruction to the forests of the motherland, do so unto themselves. For every injustice comes retribution. Mother Ostankya knows no mercy. From the smoke, she will rise to claim her price in blood. So heed the warning of the wise, or be lost to the mists of the wood.
Pretty good stuff there. Let's check out our position on the map. Let's see what we get.
The wise respect the land and avoid bringing my hexes to their door.
All right, so it is a Naggarond start, or Naggaroth, Naggarond. Anyway, whatever it is. So we're north of the Isthmus of Lustria, south of Naggarond proper up here. So we're right in the thick of it. We're pretty close to Marathi country, I believe. I'm trying to remember where she's at, or is she further up here? I can't remember. I think she's close to us. I can't remember, but Druki we will be facing aplenty. And that should be interesting, actually, because Druki can shoot pretty well as also. So we're going to bring this Hag Witch over here. Looks like we have an additional Hag Witch to put in our army. And this is going to be... I think this one should be Mother Patchy.
It is easy to discover.
And we'll put extra stank here. Alright, so we got Mother Patchy with the extra stank, and we're ready to get this army on the road. We're going to go attack the Druki here, the Bleak Holds Dark Elves. and probably take the Forest of Arnheim. Our starting army, as I was mentioning, is pretty good. We'll cover some of the mechanics, but let's go ahead and get this first battle out of the way, because these are always pretty important. But yeah, the starting army, I'll just kind of give you all some tips with it here as I get loaded into the first battle. I'm not perfect with it, but obviously the spiders and the things in the woods are going to be really nice at taking out enemy infantry, as long as they're not, incredibly competent anti-large. You can get into some regular spears and stuff even for a minute, as long as you kind of cycle in and out. But this thing in the woods, or sorry, the elemental beast incarnate, elemental beast incarnate. I can't ever get the wording right. Incarnate elemental of beast. There it is. This is going to be a struggle for me. The incarnate elemental of beast is incredibly good against large targets, just in terms of the damage it does. However, don't let that fool you. One of the things you need to keep in mind with this unit is it has this incarnate flock of doom, and it's good against infantry. So it kind of makes the incarnate elemental beast good against either. And I do like to get this unit into infantry blobs when that makes sense, and let them do some damage. If I can see back here, it does look like we got eyes on the Hydra. So I'm going to risk deploying these Akshina ambushers all the way forward so that I can try and put some shots into that Hydra immediately. And then I do have bats and spiders to back them up as needed, so I'll just put those units on standby, and then we'll just rush these units forward here as soon as the battle starts. So here we go. Let's target that War Hydra and see if we can draw it out of hiding. It does have a breath attack. I'd rather avoid that, if at all possible. The Akshina ambushers, so I'm going to fall back with this unit. Fall back here, because we've already got units popping up here. So I'm going to fall back, and let's see what it is. Okay, we got Witch Elves. I don't really want to run screaming into Witch Elves. I'll send the things in the woods into the Witch Elves. They should be able to tear them up, even if they get berserked. So I feel pretty confident there. And I'm going to send these units in. Mother Ostankya and the Hag Witch are pretty good against infantry. We got a heal here we can drop with Mother Ostankya. And then she's also got Flock of Doom, which we want to use quickly. Let's get our two Akshina ambushers to now focus fire the War Hydra. I don't see any missiles for us to take out. And things are going extremely well here early. You see those Witch Elves got absolutely trounced by the things in the woods. The things in the woods are very good against infantry. Very good. Not to be underestimated. Okay, I am going to just let the elemental, oh gosh, I hate the title on this thing. Incarnate Elemental of Beast. I am never, ever, ever going to get that right. I've got my things in the woods chewing on the Fire Sorceress. She is being annoyingly resilient here. I'll send in my two Hag Witches. Like I said, they're good against infantry, so that should help pump some extra damage in there. Incarnate Elemental of Beast. Incarnate Elemental of Beast. I'm going to say it enough times that I'm going to get it right eventually. Okay, I'm going to cease fire with those crossbow. We're probably just doing friendly fire. Man, I love the big scratching animation on the Incarnate Elemental of Beast. Definitely a cool unit. So I don't think we need to chase these units down, but I'm going to go ahead and do it just in case. Make sure I don't have to deal with these as they come back in. This is annoying. You can see she's just getting pushed around, and it's minimizing damage. Probably same thing with the War Hydra. The War Hydra heals, though, too. Yeah, you can see right there it had like a heal ability come in, but it's almost capped out in terms of healing, too. So our Incarnate Elemental of Beast probably will be able to KO it before the edge of the map. It does a ton of damage versus large. There, it got another big heal. Oh, it just got off the map. But we got a ton of damage done to it. You can see we actually got pretty good gold value there too, 2184 gold value. And I do find that the Incarnate Elemental Beast gets great gold value, as does the Akshina ambushers if you use them properly. And then Mother Ostankya is certainly not to be underestimated. She is quite capable at causing tremendous damage in the right situations. I would say she's generally speaking, more of an anti-infantry tool. But I found her to be quite competent as I've gotten to play some other Ostankya campaign prior to this and familiarize myself with her some so that I could, give you all some thoughts and advice as we go through it.
Places where the Covenant's magic seeps from the land, befouled by the blight of corruption. The daughters answer with a purifying chant to purge the rot, at least for a time.
So the purification chant. Now this is going to get us into the mechanics for Mother Ostankya, and they are actually pretty interesting mechanics, in my opinion. I did like playing them. So we have a couple of unique things to us as Mother Ostankya. The first here is the Spirit Essence. Essentially, you gain it from fighting battles and keeping corruption low. And then you gain the Spirit Essence, and you're going to spend that Spirit Essence on these different chants and curses and stuff here. So we're going to have access to these as we go through, and each one has different capabilities. So this first one takes corruption, and once we meet the requirements, which in this case is to consume 100 more Spirit Essence, it'll unlock the second one, which reduces campaign movement range and increases magic cost for an enemy army. It's really quite neat, and as you use these, you can essentially kind of keep working your way towards the ultimate objective, which I will go show you all here. But let's go to the objectives. So victory conditions says obtain 3 of the forbidden hexes. So like if you want a short victory, you just have to get 3 of these. For the long victory, you have to get those 3, and then you have to, I think it's obtain the jinxed land hex, bewitching lure, jinxed lands, the Coven's curse mark. So you would basically be getting all of these, and then you basically get to unleash the malediction of ruin, and that's when you get the long victory. So in this case, it's really about spending Spirit Essence for us to win, and you can spend that essence here on these blessings, curses, whatever it is that they are, and then you can also spend it in the Witch's Hut. And so we have to actually get a trinket. It says 2 or more trinkets to access the Witch's Hut. Trinkets are obtained by, I think, performing certain actions or winning battles, and you pick them up. We don't have any of them yet, but I think we might be able to get some. Let's check our missions. There might be some that are available via mission. Spirit Essence, Treasury, Spirit Essence. Yeah, okay. All right. But let's just keep fighting, and we'll find some trinkets. That's what happened for me last time. I am going to start things off with Inspiring Presence, and we will be able to, so this is where it gets interesting. I don't believe we're able to build the recruiting for like standard Kislev troops. At least this is the way it was in my, I played a Realms of Chaos campaign with her. We had to have one of the 3 major oblasts in order to recruit these troops, like Prague, Arengrad, or Kislev, or something like that. I don't know if that's the case here in Immortal Empires. We can take a look real quick. No, you dunce. I went the wrong direction, and now I can't capture that on this turn. Wow, that's incredibly annoying. My bad. Alright, so I already misclicked to get the campaign started. But if we take a look here, so for instance, it says you must control, yeah, and that is the case here. It says, or we have to be allied with their Kislevite owner. So it would be good for us to be allied with Kislev, rather than having them be wiped off the map, or else we will never be able to access these buildings, and that will limit our recruiting to what is available to Mother Ostankya, which is really just these creatures from the woods. Like, as you can see up here, even these buildings, says constructor. Okay, we can actually do these all the way up to the elemental bear, so we're good there. But we will be able to recruit the Akshina ambushers. We can also get the standard Kassars. Those come from the main recruitment building. And honestly, you can do a lot with these units. It's nice to be able to get the rest of Kislev's roster available to you, but you can certainly get by with the other units here. I'm actually going to go ahead and do an upgrade here so we can get giant spiders soon. And I'm going to have to end a turn because I'm stupid. Let's get into the technology. It's the same Kislev tree, except for the fact that you have these new stuff here, which is Tales from the Woods. And essentially this stuff can upgrade just different things, but they're also meant to upgrade like those blessings and curses that you all saw up at the top of the screen. So, like, for instance, this one, these ones up here on top are all, like, bonuses for units. But there's these other ones, let's see if I can find it. Like, down here, these ones improve the different blessings and curses that you get access to, so they're pretty cool. In any case, I want to see missile resistance for horse archers is not going to be that useful. Melee defense for Kassars, Streltsy, and Akshina ambushers is probably a good one to start with. We could start with that, and there's also cold storage. Let's actually go here. We'll work on these two. These will be good starting. I don't need an ice switch yet. I've already got double magic, so we don't have to worry about those. Let's go ahead and end our turn here and dive into some action. I actually should have conquered the Forest of Arnheim, so I'm going to be a turn behind in that regard. Not the smartest move I've ever made, but it wouldn't be the first time I've made such stupid moves to begin with. But yeah, here in Mortal Empire is going to take us a little longer to get through turn ends. I don't have comments from you all yet because this is the first episode, and normally I would cover those here. So I may skip some of these turn ends just to cut out some unnecessary time waste on your part. So if you do see a cut, then that's what I'm doing. I was getting here and take out the settlement. They moved another army up. It says they're going to kill me. I have doubts. Where's that, like, press X to doubt, you know, meme that we need to insert here? Yeah, it's on open ground. These guys are dead. So let's go knock them out. Alright, I've got the battle ready to commence. There's a few different things that I need to do. I have some units that I need to move forward, so I'm going to begin the battle and immediately move them up. I'm going to take my 2 ambushers and fire into these Black Ark Corsairs, as they are a unshielded target that will get shredded by the armor piercing of my Akshina ambushers. I'm going to try and stay outside of range of enemy skirmishers. I'm going to take Mother Ostankya and her Hagwitch just screaming into the middle of this formation. I'm going to target my things in the woods onto some of those different sword units, scream around the edges here with the spiders, overfly the top of their formation with my bats, and then I'm going to go after those dark shards with my Akshina ambushers. And of course, we want to delve this incarnate elemental of beast straight into the middle of the melee. We want to do that. I'm actually going to go after the dark shards here, and then I'm going to take the Akshina ambushers after the Black Ark Corsairs. There we go. Let's drop some spells to help ourselves out. Let's stay away from those spears from now. We're getting charged over here. Let's just fall back out of that. And I'll actually bring these spiders back. No, yeah, dive down there. Okay, good. Alright, yeah. I'm not controlling this particularly well, but we're getting the job done. There we go. I'm actually just going to let these Akshina ambushers hold against those Dread Spears, because the Dread Spears are about to be KO'd. They're not going to last much longer. Let's put a little bit of a heal out here. The Incarnate Elemental is over here, which again is making use of his Flock of Doom built-in ability. So we basically want him in here attacking these units all the time. So you can see that he's kind of like a Mortis effect on these units at all times. Right, we took out another Dread Spear. That spear unit got routed, so I'm going to swing these spiders back around to hit that regrouping spear unit, and then let's bring our fire to bear. And we have a summon. Let's use that to summon some more things in the woods. I'm going to use my bats to chase down routing units. Here's my summon. We're going to pull that in, continue the attack. Spiders onto the Dreadlord. And then let's get our non-summon thing in the woods over there as well. And bring Mother Ostankya back around for another run on these infantry. So we got Incarnate Elementals, Flock of Doom, plus the regular Flock of Doom. So again, you can see that these armies for Kislev are capable of dishing out some very substantial damage into an infantry melee, which is pretty cool. The spears are holding out a little better than I would like, so I'm just going to pull the spiders. The spiders do have good armor, which does make them a lot more survivable than I think I initially expected them to be. So they are good units, and there are upgrades that can make them extremely good units as the campaign continues, so don't underestimate those spiders, because I kind of had in mind as just like cheap throwaway units when I first saw them, but they are actually not. I've used them even late into a campaign with great success. I'm going to try and... Well, actually, we don't need to kill this Druki Lord, because we are actually at a settlement. Let's take a look at some of our effectiveness there. So 108 kills. Pretty good considering we're up at just a bunch of cheap stuff there. Take a look here. Yeah, Mother Ostankya leading the way there. Not terribly surprising, but again, you can see a pretty good performance out of those Akshina ambushers, despite the fact that they had to reposition some. So again, Mother Ostankya's beginning army is very capable if used properly, and you will find that you get a lot of abilities in it initially. So I think it's a very powerful beginning army. We're going to occupy the Forest of Arnhem, which I should have done on the first turn, but I'm a little slow. And then we'll go to Arnhem itself and the Moon Shard, get ourselves the Bleak Coast in its entirety. We do probably want to take a moment to peek at quick deal and just see what, if anything, is available in said quick deals. I wasn't expecting much because of our position on the map, and indeed there isn't much. However, at this time, we do have the ability to drop the Purification Chant because we have plenty of Spirit Essence. So I'm going to find our... all these the same, so let's just go ahead and perform this here. That should take the Chaos Corruption down to 0 immediately. And that allows us to spin some Spirit Essence, and you can now see that we only need 80 more spin to unlock the Coven's Curse Mark, which is our next objective. So that is how we're going to push things along. Ah, look, our Witch's Hut. It's unlocked. So we have wood and teeth so far available to us. And then you can use these materials, and you will see them not be grayed out if it's something you're able to create. And so at this point, we can create this little trinket here, or incantation, I guess. In this case, it's a curse. It has this Whiff of Madness, which can rampage a unit and take away melee defense. It takes away charge bonus and leadership. It's a pretty effective curse. This can be applied prior to a battle in much the same way that you put like banners and stuff onto your own army, and these blessings will act like banners and stuff you put on your own army. The curses are like ones that you put on the enemy army, and again, they are very powerful, and they also serve the purpose of moving you along. You see that spent 5 more of those, so that's moving us along towards our objective here, which is good news. At this point, we'll take care of our skills. I am going to drop that into firing drills because it's good not only for the standard Cassars, but it's also good for Akshina ambushers. And I like putting that in there first. If you prefer a different path, feel free to let me know what you think there, but I'm going to go with Wild Heart there because it gets us better recharge whenever we're casting. Alright, let's go ahead and end our turn. I'll get you on the other side of this. Excellent. Okay, we've made it through the turn in without any further interruption. I cannot reach Arnhem on this turn in, so I believe I will move out of the settlement, hit an encamped stance, and I'll actually just stay in my own territory here. I was thinking about pushing all the way into the enemy territory, but if I stay in this territory, and we could do it from the encamped stance, but it would end up probably going to global. Yeah, so see, we're still in friendly territory. Let's get in here to recruit units. We have bats, hatchlings, and Cassars. The spider hatchlings, they're not terrible, but they're not great if you just need something cheap. Same thing with bats. They're not amazing, but they're okay. The magical attack on them can be quite good in the right situation. But I like to just start stacking in some standard Cassars just to add some missile damage capability to our armies. And as you upgrade those things, they're not terrible in a melee. They're not great, but you can get them to where they will at least withstand enemies for a short time. Excellent. Alright, we're now ready to attack Arnhem, so the only unit that hasn't fully replenished is our Incarnate Elemental of Beast. We're at the gates. We could attack now. It says that we will do terribly if we do so. It's possible, because we have to face off against these dark shards on a wall. I believe it would be better to just begin building siege equipment, hold the siege on these guys. I think they'll do one of two things. They may attack us, we'll fight them on open ground, or they may just flee via sea and try and go around us, or just head off somewhere else, or they'll just stay here and die, all of which are acceptable to me. Before we end the turn, we do have the ability on each turn to use these materials to make further curses or blessings. In this case, I'm going to make that same curse. It's the only thing available to me at the moment. We should stack them up because number one, they're useful in battles, and number two, they count towards me spending that Spirit Essence. So now only 70 more to go, because we're waiting on a cooldown here. It's only available every 3 turns. Our turn's ended. We finished some cold storage there, so Kislev will now be getting a hold of some nice fresh food. And I'm going to move on to hooked axe blades, which will give us some extra defense for key units that we will be using throughout the campaign. Our enemies decided to just sit in their fortress and rot. An interesting and stupid decision, if I might say so myself, and I do. So I'm going to continue my siege of them. And I wanted to go back in here because we need to, of course, make another one of these curses. I'm going to make them every turn as long as I have the Spirit Essence. And if you look at these, it tells you how you can unlock, by the way, these other pieces. So like if you want this Branch of Arden, you need to form an alliance with or defeat Bretonnian army in battle. Same thing, like so this would be with Wood Elves, form an alliance or defeat an army. There's Teeth. So form an alliance with or defeat a Greenskin army. And then here, form an alliance with, defeat a Empire army. And so you can see if you want to pick up these different pieces of, or these different trinkets, that's how you get them. I did forget to mention that. And then also, you can use your technology to unlock these extra slots here. And essentially, you use the 2 base materials to make what it is you're going for, and then you can add special materials to it in order to make it get really good for you or really nasty for whoever you curse. Again, very powerful mechanic and very fun. It's kind of interesting. It in a way reminds me of like Grom's mechanics, but mixed with like a dwarf forge. So I don't know, it's interesting, but it's like it creates banners and stuff, which I guess you get to create the runes. They end up being the same way, so it's kind of an interesting mixture of somewhat existing mechanics for other factions that come together in what I feel like is a pretty unique way for Mother Ostankya, and it also gives the player a lot of ability to kind of customize how they like to do those, you know, their approach. Like, do they like to curse the enemy? Do they like to buff their own army? Do they like to do both? You know, and then again, there's a lot of different ways you can play this. So it's saying that we still have high casualties if we fight this. I don't really have any troops that are good at getting on the walls, which means that I would have to deal with the trouble of those dark shards kind of firing down on me without anything to hand at them in return. I mean, if I look at my hexes, I could drop their leadership, certainly make it possible for me to rout them sooner, but like I don't have really good flyers to get up to them with, and it'd just be, my Akshina ambushers are not going to be great at getting up on the wall and contending with them. So I'm going to just kind of continue this siege here and wear these troops out a little bit more. Not ideal for me to be wasting time here like this, but worse things could be happening. So I'm going to go ahead and create my curse there. There's not a whole lot else for me to do at the moment in terms of buildings or anything else. So we'll just save our cash and push along. I can't recruit because I have a siege going on here. Alright, they are building up the moon shard, that I can see. They are taking pretty egregious casualties to attrition here. You can see their dark shards down pretty substantially, almost a third. And so I'm going to siege them for one more turn here, just to try and make life somewhat miserable for these guys. So let's continue the siege for that once more. We do have this back, and it won't do much because we don't have any corruption, but it doesn't stop you from using it. And again, all of that goes towards my next objective. We got to get more Spirit Essence. So I'm going to spend the Spirit Essence that I have because it helps me get there. So I have 35 more, but of course we need to win some battles to gain more of it. So we do have a building upgrade available, and I'm going to build that at the Forest of Arnheim because it makes the most sense there. Alright, the Druki continue to just kind of sit behind their walls here. So I'm going to go ahead and attack and kill them, and I'm going to put these curses, I've got 5 of them, I'm going to put them on these dark shards to make them a little easier to rout, hopefully, and then I'm going to put one on their lord, and then, you know, we've been spending the money on it, so let's just use them. You can save some if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and use them at this point. Now, I think the way I'm going to approach this battle, I'll talk you through my plan, and then we'll see how it's going to work. Those dark shards are really the only threat. that we face here. If I get rid of the dark shards, then the rest of these guys are absolute pushover material. So what I was going to do is just use my Akshina and my Kassars. The dark shards do have shields, I believe, so they're going to be fairly tough to deal with, but I think between these 4 units and their 3 depleted units, I can put up a pretty good fight, and then whatever's left, I'll send the bats up and after in order to clear out the rest of the way. Once I get the dark shards' attention, I might be able to get a unit to the gates to bust the gates down, but the units that can push my siege equipment are also the ones who can shoot. Now, I could take those towers, and again, the Akshina ambushers and Kassars are not terrible in a melee, and I could push the gates and stuff with them, essentially approach it that way. But I don't think that's a great idea. This is actually a pretty good approach point right here, because I can avoid a lot of that tower fire over here, I believe. So I'm going to just leave these pieces of siege equipment, and we'll grab them if needed. But I don't think we're going to need them. The Akshina ambushers can actually start in range here too, I believe. Or no, they can't. Thought they had Vanguard deploy. Oh, I had the wrong unit selected. There we go. They do have Vanguard deploy, and their range is going to put them within range of the Dark Shards as well, which kind of sucks, but I can at least open up a good volley. I'll bring my Corsairs up right behind them, or Kassars. And I've got my leaders, Incarnate Elemental Beast. Gosh, I'm never going to get that right. And I got my bats to help out. Now, it depends on what they put on the wall. If they put dark shards and like spears, it's gonna be a lot tougher to get to those units. But let's see what's on the walls. I do see dark shards right there, so I'm gonna target the dark shards immediately. They are already firing at me. I actually think I'm gonna make this approach from back here and see if I can get out of the firing arc. Those, no, the dark shards have a good firing arc on me. Sorry, there's no point in repositioning. Open up. And I'm gonna bring in Kassars and push in here, and I'll just see if we can start dumpstering these dark shards from range. We're gonna have to be careful there though, not to get too damaged. Now the good news is that has drawn a lot of attention over there, which is gonna leave one of the gates wide open for me to bust through. So I'm gonna take the Incarnate Elemental Beast and get ready to go break down a gatehouse. They are repositioning one of their dark shards at the moment. Looks like it's headed down the steps into this other tier. I'm gonna start firing into this other dark shard that's down the way. We're doing pretty good. We're not taking a lot of damage in return from those dark shards. So here comes my Incarnate Elemental Beast. I do not want him taking a bunch of dark shard fire. I'm gonna move this one, get past the tower quickly, and tear into the gate. I'm in pretty good position here. We are causing extraordinary damage to the dark shards, and our Akshina ambushers are not taking, you know, horrendous casualties or anything. Just got this one more dark shard over there, and see their lower leadership's definitely coming in handy there too. All right, start busting the gate down, and then as soon as the gate's down, I need to be able to get Mother Ostankya, these hounds and spiders and stuff through the gates. I'm having a little more trouble getting a good target on those final units of dark shards. I'm actually just going to move over here. See if we can get out of their firing arc or pull them into a better firing position, because right now I just don't have a very good position on them. Alright, here we go. Ooh, that tower is active at the moment. The gate is almost down, so let's get our things up here. Mother Ostankya, go ahead and move up. Just kind of get these archers in position here. There we go. Alright, Spideys. Alright, gate's open. Let's go ahead and charge in. Alright, so I am headed into the gates. I'm gonna avoid those spears with the Incarnate Elemental Beast. And I'm gonna bring in the spiders right behind us here. Let's get in some Block of Doom action. Alright, we've got some rampaging going on. That's that whiff of madness. Part of the curse we had, so their dark shards are out of control. And that should cause some pretty bad issues. We captured the gatehouse, which is pretty sweet, so we're having good effects so far. I did see a tower shooting at me, though. Hopefully we can take these guys out before that becomes a big concern. They're cutting through pretty nicely. I'm trading fire over here. I'm gonna see if I can put stuff at the right arc to get those dark shards. I'm gonna come back here and focus, see if we can just kind of chain route this blob over here. And then I can drop a heal from Mother Ostankya in here as well. Affects all allied units in range, so I really don't want to use it until my Incarnate Elemental Beast gets over here like I would like him to. There we go. Let's let that unit. There we go. Alright, so we've got the heals set up. My bats don't really have a great target to swoop in on at the moment. I could go tear down that tower though, so I will take them to do that. Alright, we are in really good shape. The Incarnate Elemental Beast does not have great armor, and he's a huge target, so you should expect to take some damage with it. That is indeed where we are taking the damage. Trying to catch that other unit in range with this. There we go. Wild form. Let's just buff up these units as best we can. Tower's getting torn down. Alright, we're in good shape. We're in real good shape at this point. Yes. I like where this is headed. Excellent. Yep, so we are tearing through the Druki pretty efficiently here. So it was definitely worth our time to damage them up some first, get them under control in that respect so that we could more easily break in here without taking egregious losses to our army. There's the chain route that probably should have already happened, but the AI usually gets some pretty nice benefit of the doubt on these, but there we go. Captured Arnheim. Alright, let's check the stats on some of these units, kind of see where we're being effective and see where we're not. Not bad. A ton of damage dealt for the Incarnate Elemental Beast. Akshina Ambushers also dealt a lot of damage, but you can see it's the two of them put together to equal that one. Good performance from Mother Ostankya and the Hag Witch. So yeah, we're definitely getting a lot of value out of that Incarnate Elemental. So let's go ahead and end that one. We're going to occupy Arnheim. It's got a port that could become quite handy for us in terms of being able to hopefully trade with some other Kislevite factions, though I don't know whether that'll happen or not. Because I would love to ally with them and unlock all that recruitment potential. I'm going to put one into firing drills here. We've now finished that. And speaking of firing drills, we're going to hire a couple more Kassars into our army so that we can push forward with more strength. And we're going to upgrade our Hag Witch here to put another point into Flock of Doom. So we now have Overcast availability there. And I do want to end one more turn to see if we can get the Moon Shard captured to kind of cap off this episode. We got a lot of Spirit Essence from that battle that we needed, because we've been spending it, and we're going to continue to spend it because we don't want to sit on it. You need to spend it in order to accomplish your objectives, so not one of those currencies that you're going to feel better about saving and not using. It needs to be used. Now, I was just thinking to myself during the turn end that it would be nice if we could strike up an agreement with some High Elves, and here we go. Is this like female Sirthaek? Sirthara Belkek? So we are going to make a deal with this High Elf Princess, get a trade agreement. I think this sounds pretty good. If we can start some agreements with them, that would be nice. They're under assault, though. I can already see the Vampirates, and they've got Druki to their north as well, as the Sword of Cain will be in the vicinity. We cannot quite reach the Moon Shard all in one turn, so I'm going to stop off right here for a turn. And I'm going to go ahead and recruit a couple more. Or actually, we have access to spiders now. I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple more spiders into the army. That'll give us just kind of... They'll act kind of like mainline, kind of like cavalry, a little bit of a mix of both. And then we're going to head into our witch's hut, spend our stuff there, and you can see we're like 25 away. This is done in 3 turns, so we'll be able to, in 2 or 3 turns, be able to open up the next... the Coven's Curse mark there. And then let's go in and look at our next bit of, what do you call it, technology that we want to get into. Construction, Troll Country, Pathfinder. So campaign movement range and speed for Akshina ambushers is pretty cool. That's actually not bad. That'd be pretty useful, in fact. Let's go see what else is available. Convalescence is nice. It helps our settlements grow faster, helps us replenish faster. That can be quite handy. Weapon strength for the things in the woods is also definitely going to be money well spent, because we are going to be using them. Local recruitment capacity is not a bad thing to go after either. Let's go with convalescence here, because we definitely want to be able to replenish quicker. We're good there. Let's go ahead and end this turn, and I'm going to finish it by probably taking a quick auto-resolve against the Moon Shard, and that will round this episode out nicely in terms of us wrapping up a single province and wrapping up our war against the Bleakholds, I believe. I don't think they exist outside of these settlements, though they might. And then, oh, there's the city of Kintex. That's Marathi's house, so we are right next door to Marathi. Just realized it. They're like, hey, how about some peace, you know? You like gold? I do like gold, but I'm going to kill you and take it, and then we will have peace, the only way that it can be sustainable. So, accident. I can spend the money. We get the money for it. So let's see here. We're gonna go hit the Moon Shard, and they really cannot resist us at this point. So the Moon Shard in our control, our first province entirely under our control. We need to improve Arnheim at this point, and that means we can issue a commandment as well. That'll give us extra control, campaign movement range to chase down any enemy armies that get in here. We picked up that's pretty cool. Gives us melee attack and defense buff. So a good first episode, and we're only just a little bit away from unlocking this next one. I mean, I could probably end 2 more turns and we could unlock it, but it's not going to be a huge deal. I'll do it on the next one. Hopefully you all enjoyed the first look here at Mother Ostankya. Again, if you have questions, get down, ask the questions. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you'd like to see. Types of armies, you know, fun objectives, that type of thing. Obviously, we'll be following the campaign objectives that are prescribed to us, but since those don't really require us to go in any certain direction, you know, we can kind of make some choices about how we would prefer to follow those. This Creatures of the Land right here, again, will give a nice buff here to our things in the woods, so I am going to pick that. It does not have any impact on spiders. I don't know if spiders are technically covered by any of these. It doesn't look like they are, nor the feral bears. So it makes me curious, like if any of these, I mean, if anything, Creatures of the Land. But I don't know, I don't see the spiders and stuff get buffed by any of that. But in any case, hopefully you all enjoyed the episode. HeirofCarthage signing out. I will see you soon with some more action in Total War Warhammer 3.